About the current context, about the dependent origination. As I explained earlier, also, dependent origination means whatever the conditions in the past, right? Conditions they are in the past makes the present condition. Whatever the conditions today makes the future conditions. So accordingly, it works. To evolve. Evolution happens. Things change. The space-time universe, according to this theory of universe theory of the universe, so theory of the multiverse. This is not the nature's law of like karma, the the law of the nature or nature's law of karma applicable to our planet Earth. But this is a theory. The theory of dependent origination is a theory applicable to all entire multiverses. Okay, as they are exist, evolves and ends and again exists. This theory, the Gautama Buddha taught more than 2500 years ago, without any physical laboratory, without any quantum physics laboratory, without any nuclear physics laboratory, neither biology, microbiology, or chemical or particle physics, biology, or particle cell, or any sort of biology, through pure the brain mind development based, cognition based development research from the brain mind. And so because human mind, human brain, and the human cognition process is the most powerful ever thing in the whole of the multiverse, where everything can be perceived as it is. So according to this dependent origination theory of the multiverse or the whole universes, aggregate universes, it's actually it's the conditions in the past that create the conditions in the present. So accordingly, the conditions in the present creates conditions in the future. Now, a lot of people, believed of a Christian or Islam or Judaism or Hinduism, 50% based God, and accordingly we have the belief-based blind faith made a present situation, right? Not knowing what to do when there is a pandemic. So now the present situation also, the humans, that's why I told, if you can, please pray at the church, or please pray any type of church, any type of mosque, Islam mosque, any type of synagogue of Judaism, any type of Hinduism, COVID, 50% God based. No, pray and stop this can't, because whatever the past makes present, present makes future. So accordingly, according to this dependent origination theory of the universes, the multiverse, origination, evolution, and the end, right? Which the Gautama Buddha preached. It's actually this it's really a very like a theory or like a principle of conditionality, right? That means now if you further explain this theory, it's like a there's a relationship with the past conditions to the the present conditions, and the present conditions to the future expected evolutionary conditions, right? And it all dependent. It's not dependent. It past, present, future is dependent. It continues like that. That is why it evolves. It's being come into exist. It evolves and it ends also. There is a end. There is a beginning. There is evolution. There is an end as well, because it's all related. It's a chain. We can't say we completely cease the past conditions in the present. It evolves because of the past conditions, and the future evolves because of the present conditions. Nobody in future can say we cut off all past conditions, now we are reborn. No, like the Christian reborn Church of Sri Lanka, you can't say like that. That's wrong. If the past is conditionally linked to present, even though we are more brainy, mindful, and our intellectual cognitive is developed, still we belong to the past evolution. That's why there is a beginning, there is evolution, there is an end as well, according to the conditions purely, right? So the present pandemic conditions would bring the planet Earth and the space-time universe to an end when the last human being leaves the planet Earth, because that mental state of a human existence came from a perception of the mental state from another rebirth, from another universe in the past, based on the dependent origination only. So accordingly, if the pandemic brings the humanity to an end, at that time it will be like a last time, before death, split of a second before that, the last breath moment, the thinking in the mind, mental state. Someone can say, because of the man-made atrocities, I die today. Someone think like the last man who lives, man or her, whoever who lives, can think. Accordingly, a new universe may emerge, and this universe and the planet Earth universe's space-time universe would come to end. That is how the conditional, theory comes into existence. But now, in this situation, it's like a causation. It's a continuous conditional causation. You can't say past is finished, this is a new beginning. No, it continues. That is why the beginning, evolution, and end is also there, right? So accordingly, if I explain it further, now when you look at this principle of conditionality, like it's like a natural principle of evolution of the the universes, okay, with regard to the universes, whereas karma is evolution about the nature. So now Gautama Buddha, through his mind brain power of the human, as a human, perceived this, and then he taught this to others as well. Like so it's very important to understand this, otherwise it's very difficult to stop this, because everything is dependent. Whoever educated, whoever intellect, whoever humanly have a good heart can't say I am not a past, I don't belong to the past. It's a dependent conditional evolution. That is why there's a beginning, there's an evolution, and there's an end as well. So now in this situation, when you look at the Gautama Buddha is not part of this theory. That is the most important thing here. When you look at Gautama Buddha, he is he's not subjected to this theory, right? Of all the 27 plus, there are monks, the Buddhas in the past. Gautama Buddha is in a chain, one person. Every 5,000 years, a Buddha comes, a unique person in the human world, similar to like birth of twins, right? Not very common, similar to that. So now here, the thing is, the Gautama Buddha, or the all past Buddhas that emerged from great India or whatever, the great Bharata, they are not subjected to this theory of dependent origination conditionary theory, because they are not dependent. That state is called a unique state in Buddhism of belonging to the great teacher only. Upon his death, he is not part of the dependent origination theory of the multiverse. Still it's somewhere there, right? That's why I described earlier. Also, Gautama Buddha is not subjected to the dependent origination theory of the multiverse. Whatever the conditions, whatever the causations, whatever the situation, past, present, future, with being independent factor, independently, the Gautama Buddhas and all Buddhas exist after death somewhere. That state is called the great teacher's mental state, the last breath state, that allows that person to transforms into that state, right? He is not subjected to any independent, totally independent of this multiverse or aggregate universe or space-time universes, dependent origination theory of the universe. That is why it's so unique. All times it's there. All times the Buddhas in that state independently is there as an independent factor, as in XY Cartesian. If you take excess time, you think time is, all this time mathematicians thought time is independent. That's why time is taken as an independent factor in the variable in the XY mathematical Cartesians, right? Algebra. But then, or even in arithmetic. But then time is also dependent, as I have shown. So Gautama Buddha is the only Buddhas, all Buddhas who have achieved that state are the only independent, totally independent, without any dependence whatsoever from any other factor. So I think this we have to realize and work towards improving our brain, minds, and the cognition process to to develop the human brains, and to take control of everything, and not just having a blind faith or a blind belief on something that we cannot prove.